Hi, everyone. Carmine Dinisco here for the Launch Network. We've got another awesome show today with my friend, great manufacturing guy, U.S. made man of the world, Mr. Christopher Guerrera. Chris, what the heck? Where are you, man?
Carmine, how are you, buddy? I had to make a move. All that cold weather in Kansas City, where our special guest is today, in Texas and New England. South Carolina was going to get some cold weather. It was going to hit like 30 in Carolina, so I had to make a move. I'm in Florida, where it's going to be 88 today. But that kind of weather. You live in it all year long.
Dude, I'm down here all year, man. But you are in the heart of entertainment world. It looks like Disney World behind you.
It is. It's Disney World. I keep telling Brandy that was kind of the thing we said. She took a day off and she had planned for it last year. So I said, hey, Brandy, you have Wednesday off this week. What are you going to do? And she said, oh, we're going to go to Disney. So here we are.
You don't need to win the Super Bowl to go to Disney, right?
No, but I at least feel like I rooted for Brady this year, right? Being a New England guy, and a Vikings fan. I'm not a Brady fan. But this year, now that he's with a different team, all my New England buddies are a little upset. So it made it really happy and joyful for me to see him actually win. I know it didn't help our special guest today because he's from Kansas City, right? And with the Chiefs.
But yeah, it didn't help at all.
But it didn't help. So Carmine, let's introduce him, right? Let's bring Sean in. Sean's a great friend of mine. We met over at Make 48 with Tom Gray and that whole crew and all the inventors. And what a crew of people. What a fun bunch of people. And Sean, from that experience, it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago, have really become good friends. We've talked about the whole path of inventors and the things you need to do and how to make products in the U.S. and the experiences. But one of the really key elements, which we'll cover today, is finance, right? If you're going to launch a product, you need to have finance. You need to have a good budget. Hey, who better that can help with that than my good friend Sean Murphy, who has been intimately involved with inventors and would Make 48 and the whole finance world. So welcome on the show, Sean. It's great to have you.
Chris, Carmine, I'm excited to be here, and I'm stuck in my house with a fireplace and the heat cranked up. So kind of jealous of you guys down here in Florida, but
I think I got a little bit of sweat coming off my forehead.
I don't want to hear about it. I'll get down there soon enough to see you guys for sure. But I appreciate being on the show. And like Chris said, several years ago we met at the 48-hour Inventors Challenge, known as Make 48, and that's such a unique environment where you bring in teams from all over the country. They have 48 hours to create a product, do intellectual property research, make sure it doesn't exist, create a functional prototype, shoot a commercial, and present to judges all within 48 hours. And which sounds like impossible. We have never, in 5 seasons now, and we're like in 95% of the PBS broadcast market and in Europe, and it's broadcast in China as well. We've never had a team fail to come up with a product. Now you think about that. Chris, you and I do the Inventor Center of Kansas City, and I know Tim Stiles, my business partner's on here as well. We have people that they've been working on an idea for 9 years. So speed to market is another thing. Look, if you have a great idea, it doesn't get better the longer you sit on it. It gets better the faster you execute it.
Yeah.
But people like thinking on their idea, and it's my little baby. Like, nobody wants to steal your idea, man. People want to help you, especially in the vendors world, help you, make it manifest and get it to come to light. But finances are always a concern. So I'm ready to field any questions you guys might have or any experiences, whatever.
Hey, Sean, before we get into that real quick, and I know that Chris has been a part of the Make 48 sounds like a logistical nightmare to me. I mean, tell me a little bit about what goes into that, real quick, planning and getting all the people together and the consultants and helpers.
It was absolutely insane. So I was the CEO of the Inventor Center of Kansas City for 4 years. It's 501c3, non-for-profit. The whole idea is to help inventors bring their product to fruition, bring it to market. Because here's the thing. If I invented this cell phone, look, inventing something and manufacturing something and inventorying and shipping and order fulfillment and dealing with returns and taxes and all the logistics that come, that has nothing to do with being the brilliant person that invented the product.
True.
And so you have people that are brilliant and have great ideas and actually great products, very simple things, but look, manufacturing it versus creating it here in your mind are two different things. So the vice president of the operation goes, man, I got a great idea. I've been sitting on this name called Make48. So Make48 for years. I bought the domain, and man, we should have this inventors challenge. It'll be a fundraiser. And I go, no way are we doing that. It's a logistical nightmare. I go, that is ridiculous. I said, we have enough money. We have plenty of money coming in. We're meeting at Union Station, a beautiful facility. We have enough money for tea, coffee, and cookies. We're not for profit. We don't need to make it, but no, we're not doing that. Next idea. And everybody else goes, oh, it'll be so fun. I go, it'll be so fun because y'all are going to do the work. That's what's going to happen. So I did my best at delegations, what I could, and emceed the event. And what was crazy is we had such a massive volunteer army. So we have people that actually facilitate the prototype shop. So we have 3D printers, laser cutters, welders, master craftsmen, because we don't want somebody, sawing off a thumb or anything like that. But it's open. Everything is open and running for 48 hours straight.
Wow.
And we came in, man, we started on the dime. We had keynote speakers all day. We had Stephen Key there and a bunch of other people. We had some people in from the Smithsonian at the first one. And at the end of the event, which went off actually flawlessly, they came up and said, the people from the Smithsonian said, man, we would love to do this, the Make48 challenge at the Smithsonian. And I was like, you want to do our fundraiser at the Smithsonian? Because in my mind, I'm like, look, guys, this is a Kansas City fundraiser. What are you doing? And I said, and I was flattered by that. But I said, look, you guys, yeah. You guys set it up. Let me know time and date. And yeah, we'll do that. That sounds great. And sure enough, I mean, a couple months later, they called and they go, look, we've got the appropriations for it. We got the time, we got the setting, we got the venue, we got all it. Man, we're set. Museum of Natural History in DC, the Smithsonian. And man, we were
amazing.
down there and Chris was there. And it's from that, then we had PBS and what's the division of Fox, but there's another division of Fox that actually made an offer too for the television rights. But their version of a reality show is, okay, now you got to say this, and then she gets mad and storms out, and then Chris, you go talk her in off the ledge. And
Bachelor meets inventor.
But PBS goes, look, we'll just do a documentary. We'll just film what happens as it happens over 48 hours, and we'll put together a show. Awesome. And so, each show is, I think 30-minute segments. This last season, it was 10. And we're just doing one challenge a year. But this year, the plan is to do 10 cities in 2021. And then the champion of each city will come to a location yet to be decided in 2022 for like the grand championship. But man, it gets those juices flowing and, those inventive and creative minds. And I think people actually surprise themselves. Carmen, here's what's crazy on the, I think, Chris, you can correct me on this, but second or third season, we had, you have to have at least one adult in your team. 2 to 4 people make up a team. The team that won were 3 female juniors in high school.
Right. Yeah.
I believe
and they're beating engineers that have retired, from Honeywell and some of these and Black and Beach and all these companies, and these 3 girls, but they're like, hey, they're in an engineering club and their teacher.
If I remember, Sean, they had messed up their whole prototype, so their 48 hours was cut to 24 hours. They only had 24 hours to come back and make it again, and they did. But it's funny, this whole experience, Carmen, when you talk about inventors, right? That this is true, like Sean said, you got the greatest idea, right? That's kind of the mode here is everyone has a big idea, but if you can't get it launched and you can't put it into commerce, it's all it is an idea. I think I had the most fun I've ever had at an event like this when I first met Sean and the team. I mean, it was just incredible. I don't think I slept for 2 days. I mean, we were up. I think the first year I was on the Shark Tank panel. Second year, I did the emceeing of the Shark Tank panel. And then the last couple of years, I've been on the focus group, which these guys at 24 hours get to present to us as a focus group. First time we had a little bit bigger group. We had Judy from Squatty Potty and John from Paintbrush Cover Shark Tank Experience. And then the next group, we had a smaller one, but we could really focus on telling them what our thoughts were halfway through the contest to make their changes, so that when they do present it to the group and the judges, they could have a different spiel on, what did the price look like? Why do you have the packaging like this? It's going to be really expensive to make it. So we gave them some good feedback. They can go back and make it. But I tell you, all of this is really exciting. It was really fun. And this is where Sean really comes in the world, right? Having been part of that and being on Kansas City Inventors Group and then working with all the inventors. But now he's got the back end of it without the finance side of it, without being able to have capital to launch it. It stays as an idea. And I think this is where Sean can really help folks out.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a blast. I think it's been just an extraordinary success. And again, just reiterating on your point, those young women, everybody has 48 hours, which is a flash. And there's other people, they get halfway through and they go, oh, we just found out the idea that we came up with is already patented. Now we got to start over. But they still came up with an idea and a functional prototype in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was incredible. And here's the thing, and these aren't stupid ideas. These aren't little rinky-dink, some are way better than others. But my gosh, they're viable products that went from non-existent on planet Earth to 48 hours later. Look at what I have. Look what I've created. Look what I've done.
And again, people
spend 6 months. And well, like Chris, you said, people spend a year trying to figure out what color to work on put on their packaging.
Yeah.
You can pick a color.
Yeah.
Good grief. If it doesn't work, change it.
Yeah. I think sometimes you find these guys, you overthink it. You really overanalyze and overthink it. I mean, you got to get it in the market, get it selling. Then you'll have plenty of cash to make some changes. I mean, Carmine have talked on the show prior to this, just on Tidy Hook alone. I made 3 changes to packaging in a year span. We had one where we felt was important to get it out, get it on the market, get people to see it, but we weren't sure about the viability of sending it and shipping it in cold weather, that it might crack. So the packaging was 21 inches. Okay, that presents a whole different element of cost, right? When you go on Amazon, handling fees. So then we quickly changed it to half the size. We analyzed the material better, and then we got a really strong retail pack, and Walmart wants it in all their stores. So we're in the final step of getting it in all the Walmart stores. So you got to make some decisions, and you got to do it quick, and you need to have some capital. So Sean, talk a little bit about that. Talk about the finance world, what you do, the budgeting part of it, because I think that's as equally as important when you finally have it. I mean, you can go licensing route, but you still need some financing up front to do the prototyping. But if you're going to launch it, you truly need to be ready, have a budget, and be prepared on the finance side.
There's absolutely no doubt you need to have a budget, for the business. But where that comes down to is the budget in the household. Some of the greatest inventions on planet Earth, not just in the United States, are one or two buddies going, it's really frustrating when we should really X, and they go, well, how are we going to do that? And it starts out, with baby steps and getting into action. I think the biggest mistake people make when it comes to finance is trying to do all the finance first and focusing on all this money and raising all this money first before they even have a viable product. They have an idea in their head and say, well, show me the prototype. Oh, we don't have one. What? But you want $1 million, but you don't have a prototype. You can't actually show me that it works. It's just, you can show me on a diagram, you can show me on a PowerPoint. I don't want to see a cartoon. I want to see a product, And also too, what I've experienced is when you have a product and the market responds, and not your peer group. Aunt Betty's always going to say it's the most awesome thing ever. And at Thanksgiving, everybody at Thanksgiving table says, as soon as you have one, Chris, I'll buy it. Look, relatives and friends do not count when it comes to that market testing. The true market is someone that doesn't know you at all, but sees the value above and beyond the price point of profit. Okay. Now, when you find that and it's unique, money will come to you. Now, in the early stages, though, man, you have to be lean and mean. So one of the biggest mistakes, again, Tim Stiles, a great friend of mine and partner in a new venture that we've been working on. Our whole focus has been as absolutely lean and mean as you possibly can. A great friend of ours, launched company, did massive 3 rounds, massive venture capital and software platform, which you could have in a Butler Steel building out in the middle of Kansas for nothing. One of the most fanciest and premier locations, you possibly could, in a coffee bar and beer service, and kegs. And I mean, it's like Google, and you don't need fancy, you need function. And so the biggest mistake, again, I see is people getting the money up front, blowing it irresponsibly, setting up everything fancy, spending their time on setting their color scheme for the carpet and the drapes in their office. Who gives a crap? Concrete floor works just fine. Tap water is great. You don't need a full service coffee bar. Yeah. But it's easier to focus on stuff like that than it is the business. And then I think, there's plenty of opportunity for legitimate venture capital to move products forward that are legitimate, that have unique functionality, whether it's patented or not. First to market lots of times is the play. You can make a ton of money just from that.
Yeah, Sean, you talk about what you said. I can't tell you how many people tell me how much their friends and family love their product, which, that's great. Then I always say, if they love it that much, and have them write you a check. Seriously, I mean, like have them invest in it. Then you'll start really finding out how much they really like it, right? You quickly find out how much somebody likes it if they want to invest in it. And
you're saying the check, and then not the $100 check to buy the unit, the $10,000 check to build the prototype. Or here's the thing: people go, "What do I do next?" Sell some. That's what you do next. Sell some. And they go, "What's some?" I don't know, 10, 100, but sell some. Find somebody on planet Earth that goes, "Wow, that's awesome. That solves a challenge, or it increases efficiency, or it saves me time. And you know what? It's worth me getting out my checkbook and writing you a check for it." And writing you a check for it at a level that's profitable enough for you to do. That's another thing I see, Chris. Oh my God. You talk to somebody and they're working 70 hours a week and they're grinding it. And man, I just love my business and I love it. I said, "Well, is it profitable?" And they go, "Yeah." "Well, what'd you make last year?" 20,000. I go, "Okay, it's profitable and it's totally not worth it. You work 70 hours a week for 20 freaking grand. You should be making that a month, not a year."
Well, Sean, the worst part is a lot of people go the opposite way that you see with business, and they're in hock, and they're building up debt over years. They haven't been profitable, and they're still doing it.
Well, and here's the thing: I believe in growing organically and internally, and as money comes in, then grow and then reinvest, and then do. And again, back on a project called B Dollar Smart that Tim and I are working on. Yesterday we were laughing because when our website, we created the website, we're like, function. I want it functional and operative, because the website people, "Do you want to do this?" Like, I want it functional and operative. Go, because people need to go. I need people to sign up and
easy
start
to use,
using the service.
Really,
and now,
really
and we were looking at,
use.
and really, Chris, we were looking at the website yesterday. We're like, "Man, that's a horrible website." We're like, "Oh, wow." And I go, "I'll take full credit. I suggest function." I said, "But now we need to pretty it up a little bit." But you know what? Here's the thing: it's nice and it is functional and it's doing what it's doing. But now we can improve it. People, especially inventors, spend too much time on perfection, and they spend 10 years focusing on perfection and they never get anything done. You're never, ever, ever, ever going to have a perfect product. All you're going to do is make it better, but it's never going to be perfect.
Sean, you hit it on the head right there. That is such a critical point. I find, for me, a couple things: making it simple, right? Making the process simple. I do all my stuff on roof, right? We do tooling, testing, fulfillment, design, engineering, all of it under one roof.
Wow.
But when you talk about trying to perfect something, you're talking about delays. BMW, now I spent many years with BMW. They don't have design freezes on production cars. They have media cars. They roll it out. The car you bought on Monday may look different on Friday. meaning the door panel may have a problem, engineering change. They don't do design freezes on cars. Ford does, GM does, Chrysler does. They put a design freeze. You can't do it until after it's launched. BMW, and don't get me wrong, it's not an easy thing because when you're making design changes, meaning you have to build better.
Oh shoot, he froze on me.
Yeah. That's all
There
right.
he
He
is.
probably
Okay.
jumped in a pool for a second, He put it on hold and said,
or
"Just jump in the
he
pool."
paused when the pool service came by. So can I
Yeah,
get you something?
while we're waiting for him to get his drink at the bar, I mean, how
Yeah.
important? I mean, obviously, Sean, everything you talk about is planning, but to me, that is one of the most important things. It's great to have a good product. It's great to have that, but not only planning to spend money, but plan when money's coming in, right?
Here's the other thing: making a lot of money is a wonderful challenge to have, but then the IRS is your new best friend. Okay, so there's a lot of things you can do on the front end. You have to get lean and mean. And Peter's saying people intend to, they want to, they like to, and that's really where the $B Smart platform. I know we'll talk about that a little bit later.
We got to talk about that. It's awesome.
People don't want to sit in, man. People don't want to spend hours and hours and hours going through things. The people want clarity and brevity and simplicity, man. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me as fast as you possibly can and handle it by tomorrow if you can. So and that's the world we're living in. And so that's where $B Smart in less than 5 minutes, a household, a business owner, individual, a young professional, doesn't matter, but in less than 5 minutes, they can go through. It's an interactive, intuitive financial survey. So if you say you're a business owner, it asks you completely different questions than if you're an employee. But in 5 minutes, creates a handful of alerts, bullet points, basically financial talking points that are for sure uniquely applicable, Carmine, to their situation. And some of them will be of interest, some of them won't. But they go, okay, there's 3 things I can do right now in the next 48 hours to improve my financial position. So getting, man, everybody says, what am I going to do with my $10 million when I sell the company? We'll deal with that when you sell the company. Okay. Right now, let's focus on getting rid of your $1,500 credit card balance that's charging you 21%. How about that as a priority? Exactly. Okay. And then as revenues come in. So you got to start big. It's like this. You can't be 6 feet tall until you're 5'11". It doesn't work that way. And people go, well, I need to get all my estate plan and everything in order. So when I sell and have my exit plan and sell for $10 million. No, you don't. You need to get rid of your 21% credit card. That's what you need to do. Okay. Exactly. And what you need to do is get rid of your $700 a month BMW lease. That's what you need to do. There you go. And you need to go buy a used car, but again, people go, well, I want an image. Here's my image. You appear to be very, very astute with your finances because you're not buying, a $120,000 Mercedes. You appear to be a wise person. I think I'll invest with you. You pull up in your $30,000 Chevy pickup. I'm way more apt to invest with you than your $120,000 Mercedes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because I'm like, look, you're lean and mean and you're in the infancy stage. Now, once you've sold a company for $10 million, then you go buy your Mercedes.
There you go. It's funny when I first started doing the invention business and helping people manufacture and prototype and things like that. I love the fact that I had a low cost office. People came in and they would actually compliment me on, wow, I'm so glad you have an office like I would have, Yeah. I thought about getting this really crazy office, but it didn't make sense, like you said, to do that.
Oh, that's one of the worst mistakes I've ever made. And that's while I'm thinking of it, everybody needs to read the book, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. But Tim and I had an office together on the 15th floor of a building, and man, it's really prestigious. And that's actually a high building where we live. Okay. So, but it was beautiful. And we never thought about it. It's 20-minute round trip to the car if you forget something, because you have to get on the dang elevator that stops at every third floor. And I was like, what are we thinking? We could have just gotten in a strip mall, in a little stint, I could have parked 5 seconds out my front door. Yeah. But you know what? You learn that. And people say, wise people learn from their mistakes. Well, no, learn from somebody else's mistakes. How about that?
There you go.
Good grief.
It's funny when I used to interview for jobs, a couple of executives back in the day used to say, hey, we know you made some mistakes in your career, right? Because if you're not working, you're not making mistakes. But then they would say, we want you to make the mistakes on somebody else's dime, right? So that is part of learning, is not to continue to repeat and make mistakes over and over. So I think that's I think it's important, like you said, though, Sean. And Carmine, I know you experience this too, right? When you're launching, it is important to get it to market as fast as possible, and that's part of what I was talking to you about. Having it under one roof, having suppliers nearby, being able to react quickly. When we had that chance with the Super Potty Trainer to get into Walmart, we had 2 weeks. I mean, literally 2 weeks to get to get a graphics label done, actual production of the label, the resin, the silicone pads, a display case box, all of that, and then mold the requirements. I think the first order was 7,500. The second order was 7,500 behind it, so 15,000, and we had to get it all done in 2 weeks. And if anything was not running smooth, or we weren't a flexible manufacturing operation, it would have never happened. So I think those are all really, really key points.
And you're saying fail forward and fail fast. Again, through the Inventor Center of Kansas City, some of these guys have some brilliant ideas, but they've been sitting on it for years. They go, well, tell me everything to do. I said, look, everything I tell you to do within 6 weeks is going to be out of date. The world we live in moves at the speed of light. And they go, well, how did you do your marketing plan? What, 30 years ago? You want to hear about my marketing plan 30 years ago? It's totally irrelevant. Right. You want to hear about the one from 3 years ago that means nothing in today's world? And so, make a damn decision, get in motion, get moving, call an audible. If you call the wrong shot, then change the play. It's no big deal. And people are so worried about making a mistake. Look, you become successful by making all the mistakes and then adjusting quickly and immediately. You got to be nimble and you got to move quick, man.
Yeah, I was saying a little bit with the BMW experience about how GM, Chrysler, Ford have design freezes. BMWs, they don't. They're called running. They're running changes in production. So your car on Monday and your car on Friday literally could be different based on an engineering change that we had to do a bank build, pull the tool out. But that makes them different. I mean, it makes it certainly a logistics nightmare. It makes it a little bit more difficult in manufacturing. But when you have good systems, and everyone needs good systems to get things launched properly, get them launched efficiently. And that's something I always say I take a lot of pride in. That's part of my lean background, is making sure that our operation across the board is efficient. It's quick. We can make changes quick. We can make them on the go. Because if you try to do something, like you said earlier, Sean, perfect. I mean, what's perfect? In my world, it's never perfect. I'm a guy that's always continually changing. It's lean concepts. I am trying to make it perfect. Everything we do is perfection, but it happens and evolves over time. If you're waiting for that, you really missed the boat.
There's absolutely. And again, people spend more time working, focusing on things that don't mean anything. Again, like the color of the carpet or the color of the tile, or do we need men's and women's bathroom, or should we just have one bath? Guys, who cares about that stuff? Get your product into somebody's hands that's willing to write you a check, get some revenue, reinvest, inventory up, get a larger order, reduce your costs, increase your operating efficiency. If you could ultimately get to Chris where you're at, where you do everything under one roof, that's a dream come true. But lots of people will never get to the point where they can do everything in one place. But that doesn't matter. There's so many companies that exist. The entire industries exist just for the purpose of supporting entrepreneurs and startup businesses bringing products to market. They'll go, look, we'll do all of your order fulfillment. That's all we do. You don't need to worry about it. That's all we do. Well, I don't want to set that up. Let somebody else take care of that. And that's where people, they say it's so overwhelming to launch this product because I have to do everything. No, you don't have to do everything. Everything has to be done. But you, as the individual, you don't have to do everything. Everything has to be done, but you don't have to do it. And they're like, I can't do everything. Well, of course you can't do everything. That's what you put together a team. That's why you bring people in.
Sean, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing this 20 years and I can't do everything.
Here's the thing. And even if you could,
I don't.
What a nightmare would, here's the thing. What a nightmare would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You make $5 million a year, and you have zero time. Because why? Because I take care of everything. I'm a quality control guy. I take care of everything. Look, I don't want to. Tim and I don't want to control everything. Ultimately, I'd like to do nothing.
Yeah. And Carmine, I was going to ask you about that, Carmine. Right? I think about even me. we originally launched with somebody in Amazon. Then we said, you know what, we're going to do it ourselves. We started doing it ourselves. Then I just realized, listen, man, like we're not Amazon people. We gotta know what we're good at, what we're not good at. So now we have a great guy who we're gonna have on the show doing Amazon for us. So at some point, you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. And even when you're running, like I've been in executives and CEOs of big companies, right? I know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. What I'm not good at, that's why I have guys reporting to me that have those functions. That's what makes it truly a team. And you know, I try to do all of it under one building, one roof. Come on, you don't. So talk about it a little bit. You have expertise in other areas, right? That's what makes us work so well.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, what I did, of course, was I made a lot of mistakes, as Sean was talking about. But as I thought I could do everything, I realized I couldn't. Not only did I couldn't, but I didn't want to, because I wanted to concentrate on what I did well. And it takes time to find the right people to fill those gaps. And now you utilize those people. Obviously, you depend on them. And you actually get better work done when you have people that are experts on a specific thing. So you get those all-in-one people. They might be able to do it all, as Sean said, but it may not be as good at work or quick work or whatever it is. But when you have experts that concentrate on just the things you need, it goes a lot better. It's a lot better work, and it actually gets done faster.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Here's it really does. That. It's funny you mention that, because people are like, well, you know, I got to find, again, the perfect guy. No, you need to find a better one than you.
Yes.
Not the perfect one. And, you know, so they said, man, okay, Joe filled the job and he was better at it than me, but he's still not very good. Well, he's out of here because now I found Bob, and Bob's going to take his place. And Bob's good for 6 months, but now he can't handle it because now we're expanded. Now we need to get Andy in here, and now we need to get Kristen in here, right? So your systems get better, and your personnel will get better, and you're going to hire some people that are total duds. And you're like, God, that guy, boy, he put on a good facade, and man, boy, he ended up being an idiot. Well, then you get rid of him.
I'll tell you, Sean, some of my most successful journeys have been with the right teams. And it's ironic because we've talked about this a couple of times, even the guys that on my team, when I was at BMW, the experiences that we went through and what we did as a large organization. We were doing things that no other company in the world was doing, right? And we still talk about this 30 years later. And just even recently, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, developed another solid team. And still to this day, we're talking about it. And when you find that's what I always tell my son now. You know, he's in purchasing now, he's a manager. When you find the right team, and you said it, Sean, you know, I'm a fair guy. I always want to give everybody opportunity. I want to be able to put a good system in. I want to be able to train everybody. But at the end of the day, after all that's done, you have to be held accountable. Somebody has to hold me accountable. I have to hold you accountable. We have to hold each other accountable. And when you have that kind of group who really believes in each other, I've done things that there's like nobody could even believe that. I mean, even like launching a product in 2 weeks to Walmart, it's unheard of. But when you have the right group, it's a reality. It happens. So that's why you have to make those changes. Like you said, Sean, you got somebody that's not working out. It's okay. But you got to get the right group and the right team and develop it and get it in play, because what you can do is endless. And I don't want to really bring this up, but the Bucks, you saw what they did with a guy like Tom Brady. I know that hurts a little bit, Sean. I get it. But you do
Come on, man.
I mean, honestly, even KC, right, with Mahomes. I mean, think about the development of those players. It's no different in the business world. It really isn't.
But
Hey, Sean. Sean, before you, is that kind of something that I want to talk a little bit? Did you ever envision yourself building an app like the app that you have for Be Dollar Smart? I mean, that's a perfect example, right?
You know, here's the thing. The answer is absolutely not. And a true story. My wife and I were at a Christmas party and we won an iPad. I didn't turn it on for 1 year. Why? First of all, I didn't even look. I didn't even try to turn it on.
You thought it was a food tray.
I didn't even charge it up. Okay. I just left it in the box because, I mean, I don't want to be in my mind, some dorky guy walking around with an iPad. Well, and then no, I don't know anything about technology. I don't know what API is. Tim Stiles, again, been a friend of mine in business together, and he's in the inventor world as well, but for 30 years. And he goes, man, there's got to be a better way. And, you know, interface with clients and, you know, financial professionals get these long drawn out, and we're both in the financial world. And long drawn out, boring presentations. We used to run 50 people a week, brand new people a week, 50 weeks a year to investment seminars when I was originally in Texas, because there was no internet, there's no YouTube, there was no cell phones, there was no Instagram or Snapchat, there's no Facebook. So what would you do? You go to an art showing, or you go to a seminar, and then you go out and get some cocktails and have some dinner with some friends. But that was a night out. Well, we went from 50 people a week, brand new, to about 7 years ago, three offices combined. We'd be lucky to have 3 people new. The worst is when only one shows up. You have one new person show up to a room full of 50 chairs. And so, no, I knew nothing about technology. And Tim goes, no, we got to do something to, people are living on their phones and they're living in that world, and we're not in that world. We're stuck in the past. And just with an idea. And here's the thing, where B-Dollar Smart is now, neither of us could have ever possibly imagined what it has become and what it does. There is no way. He and I look at it, and we meet every single day, talking, moving things forward. But we're like, how in the world did it get to this? A little bit at a time.
Yep.
Shaquille O'Neal, how do you get to be 7'3"? Well, he didn't start out that way. Okay.
I always bring up the whole reference of building a house, right? It's like building a house. You start with a foundation, build a frame. I mean, that's how business works. And you said it earlier on a point where you don't have to be everything to everybody, right? You could be doing all this stuff in parallel and get there just as fast.
Here's the thing, and amen, because on technology, Tim and I know zero about technology, but somebody does.
Right.
And we said it would be great if there was a tool that did this, this, and this. Well, here's what we want it to look like, and here's the functionality we want to execute, and then you hire the people to build it. That's it. I will never know programming. I don't want to know programming. I don't need to understand it. Look, guys, when it works, here's what it should look like, and here's what it should do. And they go, got it. And then they're off and running, and they go build the darn thing. And so now we're nationwide. We've got offices in New York, Florida, Washington, California, Texas, Alaska.
So Sean, talk a little bit about it. So talk a little bit about B-Dollar. Right? I mean, we talked a lot about the inventor community, you working with the inventor community, you hosting inventor groups. Now you've entrepreneured out of that, right? Got your own product. Like you said, you slowly developed it into something now that's really cool. So let's talk about that a little bit. What is it? What can it do for inventors? What can it do for guys that need to manage finance and help them? I know a lot about it from you, but tell everybody, what does this platform give them?
Here's the challenge. You say, again, like back on the email with Michael Gerber, you have somebody that is an incredible woods crafter, and builds unbelievable cabinetry. That doesn't mean that person should run a cabinetry business.
Yeah.
They're a fantastic woodworker. Being a fantastic business owner has nothing to do with being a fantastic woodworker. And being an inventor, lots of people have these brilliant ideas, but that doesn't mean that they're proficient inventors yet. Okay. And being financially efficient, whether it be a household or a small business or a multi-billion-dollar corporation, is incredibly important. That's the whole idea behind B-Dollar Smart, is start from where you are. I don't care if you make, I have executives that make multiple 7 figures a year that are clients. And I have guys that are 24 years old, just got married and have a 3-month-old baby. They're like, man, I don't know what to do. Let's get me started. What it does is that since it's not, a cookie cutter, it's an interactive financial survey, financial app. And again, in less than 5 minutes, it'll create 8 to 10 alerts. And these are prompts for conversation, for a course of action that are for sure uniquely applicable to you, Chris, based upon where you are, who you are, your income, your marital status, your tax filing status, all of those things taken into consideration. And then it'll bring up a handful of talking points. Some of them you will absolutely not care about, but the others are like, man, there's 2 or 3 things I can do right now to improve my finances. Now just think about this. Again, if you just do 2 or 3 things right now to improve your finances in the next 48 hours, and 6 months later, we run the app again, and you do 2 or 3 things in the next 48 hours, 6 months from now to improve your finance, look, you're going to be in the top 5%, if not eventually the top 1% just by systematically doing it. That now the process of running B Dollar Smart, we provide that for free. So if somebody wants to say, look, I don't even know what to talk about or what to bring up or what to mention. I don't even know what's broken to even figure out to what talk about. That's what B Dollar Smart does by creating those alerts. And so we can create that and build that for you, or have that experience for you, that user experience in less than 5 minutes. It's provided by and through financial professionals only. So it's not an app you go to the Google store and download. Only financial professionals have it. Only licensed financial professionals are allowed to have it. And though they know what the alerts mean, they know why it popped up, they know what the benefits are and what suggested courses of actions are. But instead of sitting through an hour-and-a-half seminar, I can describe it to you briefly in 30 seconds what the alert means. And you go, yeah, I really need to do that. And you said, okay, what's your next alert? And so it's just, again, brevity and simplicity. Those are the two things I could say to describe B Dollar Smart. So if somebody wants to see it, it's bdollarsmart.com, B without the E. So just the letter B, dollarsmart.com. And there's on the landing page, there's a video there that shows kind of the interaction and how it goes. But again, very, very simple. But we're actually doing a Zoom overview for financial professionals that want to use this in their practice and kind of get into the modern age, get away from doing presentations. Nobody wants to listen to one and nobody wants to give one. Nobody wants to hear that stuff. Just fix my mess. Don't tell me about dollar cost averaging and tax deferred, tax deductible, and tax exempt. I don't care. Reduce my taxes, reduce my debt, and get me financially independent and do whatever you got to do it. Go. That's the American people. Okay. So bdollarsmart.com/interest. So again, B without the E, bdollarsmart.com/interest is where they can go and actually set up for March 3rd. It's going to be 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're doing a Zoom overview for financial professionals, as well as somebody just wants to get their finances straightened out. Now, if they go, look, I don't want to sit through a Zoom call either because that takes my time. Well, then go to bdollarsmart.com/interest and say, look, I just want to run a B Dollar Smart app and get my finances straightened out. Well, click the box and we'll get somebody in touch with you. If you're a financial professional, they go, look, I'd love to use this in my practice and quit giving presentations and quit giving seminars and just start writing business and implementing solutions and having the client involved. Here's what's crazy. When the client is involved, it's their process and it's their alerts and it's their intentions to fix whatever they say. So telling is not selling, it is repelling. And financial people are always spend all their time telling a client what they should do. Clients don't want to hear that. Clients want to be in control. B Dollar Smart allows them to do that.
Wow.
So again, if you're a financial professional, you want to hear more about it, you can go to the website or they can register for that Zoom call. But I tell you this, Chris, we have not had one instance where a individual has run a B Dollar Smart app that came up with 0 alerts.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'm
Not
sure.
Never. And I'm dealing with people that are mega wealthy and the people that are right out of college, but I've never had one, not one. If you have a net worth of over 10 million, you have completely different financial issues than somebody that's just starting out.
Right.
But you still have a bunch of financial issues.
Right.
Okay. So that I've never seen anybody that it couldn't help to some degree. And again,
Sean,
we provide that for free. Yeah.
What I love about the app, and it's obvious that you have been doing this a long time by how the app is built and how it functions, is that I don't have somebody that I really don't know asking me these financial questions that I'm like, who's this guy? Why should I tell him? I'm on my phone. No one's listening or over my soul, and I don't mind filling it out.
No, here's a Carmine. Even if Chris referred you to me as the traditional financial industry, we meet for the first time and I go, and we do the chit chat and get warmed up. And I go, so how much do you make? So how much does your wife make? Well, do you have any debt? And here's what's funny. People go, no, I don't have any debt. And the wife's going, you got $30,000 in credit cards. What do you mean you don't have any debt? So but people will lie to your face about their finances because it's perceived to be invasive. It's intrusive. But when the phone is in their hand and they're doing the survey, it's just them and their data. And here's what's crazy. The survey, the tool rather, asks for no personal information. It doesn't ask for your name, your date of birth, social security number, your email address, your cell phone. Nothing ties you to that data. And that's also critically important in today's world, with data encryption and ID theft and all those type of things. It was built intentionally. So if you did the app, Carmine, and then handed that to me, and I turned around and handed it to the best identity thief on planet Earth, there's nothing they can do. Because all it was the survey and then created the alerts. The only thing that we do is initials and a zip code and a timestamp. That way I can look at my calendar and see who I was talking to. But again, people are open and honest with themselves, but not with somebody they just met. Yeah. So again, it creates way more accurate results. It does it in 5 minutes. They're in control. They go, I want number 1, number 3, and number 8. You go, all right, okay. What about the rest of them? I don't care about the rest of them. Number 1, number 3, and number 8. Said, okay, we'll get that done. And again, so I guess, well, I don't have enough money, to run a $B Smart app. Well, then you definitely need to run a $B Smart app. If you're in the United States and you're able-bodied and of healthy mind, you should be doing well.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people that aren't, and I've been poor in my life. And I bet you guys have too at some point, right?
Yes.
I mean, I've had my lights shut off.
Sure.
I've had my water shut off. I've not been able to put gas in my car. But I looked around me and I go, man, the United States is affluent. I need some of that. I didn't know how to do it. So I found somebody at the University of Texas, an individual, and he told me all the inside secrets about how to win financially and make this stuff work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that's in $B Smart. So instead of being mentored over a year or two, how about find out in 5 minutes what you need to work on right now? And 6 months from now, it'll be different. Why? Because you're better. In a year from now, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do an annual review for 2 hours with my financial, my CPAs and my tax attorneys and all that. I don't want to meet with them. But if I could meet with them in 5 minutes, holy cow.
Yeah.
I love it.
No doubt.
But again, it's BSmart.com, B without the E, $smart.com. If you just want to run a survey, get your finances, it starts with your household, BSmart.com/interest, like I'm interested. Okay. Oh. Interest. And we'll find a professional in your area. And with Zoom, within your area, it might be $500. Here's the closest guy. Yeah. Or 500 miles. Here's the closest guy. But we can find somebody to run that for you and see if we can help you up and get you on the path and getting your product to market and doing so financially responsible. I don't want inventors bringing a product to market and they rent it on $50,000 of credit cards. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd prefer that not happen, and so would they. So that's really what we're looking to do and achieve. And we've got fantastic results. A lot of people really, really appreciate what we've been able to do. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys letting me mention that.
Yeah. I love that you're doing that. I mean, I do my own stocks now, not that I'm a stock pro, right? But it gives me flexibility to buy and sell when I want. I go back to the days when I was at BMW and I had to wait for a broker and he was getting paid on the front end and the back end. Now I'm like, I have the freedom, right? I can set up the way I want. I can move quick. So I love what you've done with that. That just gives the user so much more flexibility and to be honest with themselves. You said it. I mean, who wants to put $50,000 on a credit card? At some point, that's gonna pop if you don't move quick on the cash. But the interest rates and tying up the credit score, all of that, right? I think this is a great platform that you definitely have going on. 100%. Pretty cool.
Well, what I love about this show is that people often think about a invention as a product, as something in their hand, a piece of plastic or whatever it is, a shirt. But what I love about what you're doing, Sean, is it's an invention, it's innovation, it's a product, but you're using it to help people, just like any health product or anything that's out there. People just need to look at it like you're making this and it could be helpful just because it's not a ashtray from China, but it's a product that you invented, that you innovated.
And again, we have Tim and Styles and we have zero expertise in IT at all. You don't need it. What you need is a great idea. Here's the problem. Long, boring presentations that nobody goes to anymore, and nobody knows how to fix their finances, and nobody wants to get sold anything. That's the problem. Well, the solution is an app in 5 minutes that's interactive, personal, and private, identifies a handful of things you need to at least have a conversation about, pick out 2 or 3 that can help you in the next 48 hours, and let's go fix them. Boom. Awesome. Don't have to sit through a seminar. Don't have to be lectured to. Don't have to be told. Don't have to have the sales resistance. Don't have to have the fight. And it's really, really incredible. And people say, well, how do you get paid if you're providing the B-Dollar Smart for free? The wealth creation that eventually comes, if you have $100,000 invested with me, Carmine, and I turn your 100,000 into 200,000, you like that, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well, my fee, if your money doubles, my fee doubles.
And I don't mind paying it.
Dude, well, no, you would gladly double my. And so here's the thing: we get a fraction of 1% of assets under management, a fraction of 1%. But if you have tens of millions or hundreds of millions under management, it adds up. But the bottom line is, if all you have in the world is $100,000 and I double it, you love that. If you have 10 million and I double it, you love that. If your money goes down, you don't like that, and neither do I.
Right.
So it puts us on the same side of the table as the user, not let's go from A to B to C and get paid per transaction, Chris, like you were talking.
Right.
Look, if your wealth goes up, you're happy and we're happy. If your asset value goes down, you don't like it, and neither do we. There you have it.
That's what happened with Chris, right? You doubled his 10 million.
Yeah. There's no conflict.
Chris doubles his 10 million.
I'm looking to triple and quadruple and then keep doubling it.
Buddy, I'd be happy to help you with that.
Chris bought like 100,000 shares of GameStop.
Oh, I didn't. My nephew did, honestly. My nephew, I think, made $300,000 on GameStop in 2 days. I'm not kidding. I bought all that low end hanging fruit stuff. Some's up, some's down. But you know how it goes. Now, but the cool thing about it, I have my kids involved in it now. Like Tyler and Sean knows my family. Tyler's asking a lot of good questions now about stocks, which he probably wouldn't have asked if he didn't jump in. So
that's correct.
Really
that's
cool.
Correct. And I've got my son does all that type of stuff. It's just amazing, fascinating. But they do it all on their phone. They're all on Robinhood. They're all trading and doing things. It's fantastic. Well, guys, I've got another training call actually for B-Dollar Smart for all the brokers that are using that nationwide. Tim and I got that here in about 7 minutes.
Yep.
All right.
We're going to jump over. But again, please go to B-Dollar Smart, B without the E, just the letter B, dollarsmart.com/interest. And put your information in there, and I'll ask for email. That's just so we can set a time to do it for you. We will not slam with the campaign. We don't do any email solicitations or campaigns from B-Dollar Smart. So it's really important to know that. But we just want to be able to get you the experience, get the app in front of you and see how we can help you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sean, listen, man, thank you so much. Go ahead and jump off. Chris and I will close the show up, but I truly appreciate you being on today, giving us this information, and hopefully we'll get you back on when we get some questions from our listeners.
Here's the thing. Next time I come on, I'm just going to come to Florida so I can get me some sun and
there you go.
fun.
We're going to go see Carmine directly and sit in a room and do the Zoom together.
I'll just sit right next to you, Chris.
Now you're talking, man. Now you're talking.
All right, John. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
See you guys. Thanks for having us.
Take care, buddy.
So, Carmine, here we go again. Another great show. Really good information, free information, lots of expertise. We started out with Made in America, me making products and showing how to do it in America. But look how much more we bring to the table, right? It's been so much fun.
Man, Sean really knows his stuff. What I love is that, he took all his learning, his experience, his knowledge from the invention world too, and just created this app that's helping thousands of people with their financials.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's, as you can see, he's a good speaker. We hit it off when I first met him from day one. That Make 48, that very first one we did was so much fun. And I made a lot of good partnerships, and Sean and I have become really close friends now, over the years, and we're talking, daily. The kids are all friends. It's just been pretty cool. It just shows you what kind of community we have, right?
Yeah.
You can be an inventor, you can be a manufacturer, you can be a financial guy, entrepreneur, but the community is all together, and everybody wants to help everybody.
Yeah,
that's the end of the day, and that's what I feel so good about this show, Carmine. I think you've done a great job with hosting it. We're getting some good people on it, and it's all free. It's free stuff. We're not charging anybody. It's all great information to learn.
No, I hear you. No, it's fun. And what I feel is from our backgrounds where we're sitting, I think we could even host a golf match.
Yeah. I like that. I think so too. Matter of fact, I may have to tee it up today. I'm kind of liking this environment. I really do.
Dude, I tell you what, it's a total different world, right? Where you can
I'll give you the whole quick view.
wow. Wow, nice.
Live on the set, right? Live on the set.
I love it, man.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
You know what's funny is there's people out there already. All right. Well, we're going to close the show up. I appreciate everyone from listening. If you can, please go on out to Google Play, iTunes, wherever you consume your podcast. Go on out to YouTube, where we have our YouTube network. We're showing our shows, the Launch Network. Go ahead and listen up and view. Please give us a review or let us know how we're doing. We would love to hear. And we will catch you next time on Made in America with Mr. Christopher Guerrera. You all take care.